Hi, I'm Matthew, and on my channel, I like to subvert people's expectations, like regular uploads. That even surprised me. And now, I'm going to not do the type of content that you've probably come to expect of me at this point, in favor of doing a video about a nutcase. This nutcase! This is a guitar I built over the last year, maybe a year and a half. It's a great guitar, until you have to play it, and then the experience is awful. So today I'm going to talk about how I made it and what I learned. You'll hear the guitar throughout the video, but let's start off with some samples. The guitar is plugged into my Marshall MG Series 30DFX, which I'm recording using a Shure SM47. Here's the neck pickup. And here's the bridge. Well, actually, you can't hear the bridge pickup on its own, but here's the out of phase sound instead. I've wanted to build a guitar for almost my whole life. I used to build models out of Lego and string them with rubber bands and carry them everywhere. But I was finally able to make this guitar when I started my GCSEs and was assigned to build something to a brief in my DT class. I shoehorned a guitar in there and started work. Here's the original design I wanted to build. It looks a bit different, doesn't it? That's because I didn't have enough wood and had to redesign. My father bought the neck off eBay because there's no way I'm getting the time or the confidence to construct the neck on my first guitar. I ended up using all the hardware from a guitar project from the year before, which I really did run out of time for. Here's what the guitar ended up looking like. Pretty different still, yes? Well, you see, I finished my original project on the final day of school before the first lockdown. I had been rushing to get it done for days, and the upshot was that it didn't work. Not even a little bit. It was extremely quiet, the neck was attached by a tiny metal plate because my teacher misunderstood what I needed and routed out the entire neck pocket, so I didn't have any wood left to bolt the neck on, which means the strings couldn't be tuned up all the way, or the thing would fold in half. The bridge was just a piece of metal, and my circuit design was very stupid. So, after months of waiting, I came back to school for results day, and grabbed the guitar and started work. My father helped me reinforce the neck with epoxy resin, I bought new pickups and a new bridge, and I redesigned the circuit using the components I had. The scratch plate is just an unwanted old record someone left out on their front wall. The tailpiece is just 3 unnecessary hinges, and the nut is made of plywood. So, here are the final specs. Fender Jaguar V-Mod pickups, Aria STG series neck, plywood nut, cherry oak body, and the bridge is just bad. Now I'm going to talk about the things that I like and don't like about my guitar that I've made. First, the things I like about my creation. It sounds a little more like a Strat than my other guitars, which is a tone that I had been missing from my collection, I think. The body shape is accidentally genius. It rests in a good position on your right leg, although you do have to hold it in position so that it doesn't fall. And on the left leg, it just sits there without any extra support like classical guitarists often need, which is really cool. It's unobtrusive when you're standing up, and it doesn't have any neck dive, which you would think it might do for something with such a small body. Also, in my opinion, this guitar looks incredible. It's like red, but it like fades to natural color in the middle. I really like the knob. I played a prank on my Instagram followers about the knob. That was fun. Follow me on Instagram. And now for the things I don't like. The volume knob is back to front, my fault. The rear pickup is more of a middle pickup than a bridge pickup, purely because of how I routed the first time around. The action at the nut is stupidly high, so I always play this in E flat with a capo to make it not sound as bad. The bridge is too far forward, so I have to pull the saddles all the way back. The neck was also in bad shape long before I got at it, and now it has epoxy on it, and it's also not on the center line of the body, so the high E string is really hard to fret. What have I learned from this experience? Firstly, rushing a project like this can be deadly, especially for a beginner. There is so much about this guitar that would have been fine if I hadn't had a deadline the first time around, and there was only so much I could fix on revisiting. And secondly, guitar building of any sort is a real skill set. People talk about this sometimes as if building an electric guitar is way easier than building an acoustic guitar, and it does sometimes feel like you're just cutting a bit of wood up and then sticking things to it. But there's a lot of things about the process that require dedication and practice to get right. I don't really have enough time to spend on these projects to give them the dedication that they deserve, but I'm going to keep doing them and learning about the craft. I've already chosen the wood for a fretless bass guitar that I'm going to build. Yes, fretless, because there's so much maths and precision in fretboards that I just don't trust myself with. Anyway, I'm going to do a short series about making the bass, so I'm not going to spend too long on it now. I'm excited to get working on it, and I can't wait to share the process with you. I think I'm going to learn a lot, and hopefully you will too. See you in a week when I go back to playing songs on acoustic like normal. Bye!